Hi, Amanda here from Patchwork and Papercraft, and today, well, we're going to make some cards, but they're masculine cards. Mainly because my brother's birthday's coming up and I've been asked for a male card, so I'm going to make a few. Now, what makes a male card? You know, different to a female card? Well, it comes down to colour, really. In the main, males prefer the cooler colours, the blues, greens, browns, greys, and ladies prefer the warmer colours, you know, the pinks, reds, yellows, oranges, that sort of idea. Obviously, there's some that don't. Not everybody meets the same criteria, not everybody's the same, but in the main. So we're going to try and stick to the cooler colours. And another thing that makes male cards more masculine, if you like, is the use of geometric shapes, angles, rather than circles. I don't know why. It just seems to be that on female cards you'll get a lot of circles, and on male cards you'll get a lot of edged shapes, squares, hexagons, stars, you know, that sort of thing. So I went through my stash, and this is the bit that takes the time. I mean, I must have taken an hour and a half just going through my stash. There's something to be said for having a smaller stash, I think. You've got less choice. Anyway, I pulled out some papers, some oddments, and a couple of paper packs. So I'm going to show you the paper pads that I've chosen. Let me turn this around to show you. Okay, so first of all, we've got this one from the Paper Boutique. For Him, it's called, and there's some fantastic papers in here. I mean, I've cut apart loads of them. This one, it's as you can see. But they're all very, very nice papers in here. In fact, you can see them all on the front cover, really, can't you? So there we go, that's that one, 6 by 6. And then I've got this one called Creative Paper from Crafty Things. This one comes from the range, I believe. And as you can see there, well, you might not be able to see actually from that, but they've got foil in them, some of them. So that's quite pretty. And then a 12 by 12. This one is called My Lovely Story. No, it's not. If that was an O, it would be My Lovely Story, but it's not. It's Mystery. Lovely Mystery. Anyway, this is 12 by 12, and again, there's some gorgeous papers in here. I mean, they're not all male. There's a mixture in this one. But that's what I've used for my backgrounds. And I've prepped a few cards already. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. Here's the cards I've already prepped. So these are the ones we're going to go through today. I'm going to do that one last, I think, because it's fairly involved. So we're going to start at the very beginning. That's a very good place to start with this one. Now these are 5 by 7 cards. Oh dear, I haven't quite got this in the right position. There we go, you should be able to see it all now. There we go. And so it's a 5 by 7 card. So I've cut a mat which is a quarter less. So it's 6 3/4 by 5 3/4, which I'm going to stick down. I don't know, I've got my cards prepped, didn't get my glue gun prepped. It's silly, isn't it? Hope it works. It should be. Yeah. Okay. And then I've cut some squares. Now these squares are 2 inches each one, and I've got 4 of them. And what I thought I'd do is something like this. So we'll have that one hanging off the end at the top, one there, one there, one there, and one hanging off the bottom. I need to move them across a little bit. I don't like those two the same next to each other. See if we can sort that out a little bit. Did I cut some other squares? I think I did. If not, I'll have to cut another one. Where's my scraps disappeared to? That one I put it there. Finish it at the same design, maybe. About that. Yeah, I quite like that arrangement. You've got to remember, of course, that you can turn these over. These are double-sided. That's what I'd forgotten. That's why they all looked the same, because I hadn't turned one over. So there we go. And now we can stick those on. And what I'm doing is I'm allowing it to hang off the end, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to trim that afterwards. Perhaps I shouldn't have stuck it down, the backing that is. Would have been easier if I'd not stuck the mat down. Now, masculine cards tend to have to be fairly precise if you've got angles and things, because men have this annoying habit of measuring them. But if they're not quite right, then, you know, one of them things, isn't it? There we go. Now I've got to cut off the edges. This isn't going to be easy, because what I want to try and do is cut it level with the mat, preferably without ripping it, which is what I just did. I don't look too bad. So just slide that under, nip it off. Oopsie. These aren't the ideal scissors for this actually, but they'll do. There we go. Make sure it's properly down. And all we've got to do now is stick a sentiment on. So, where's my sentiment strips gone? I was going to use on this one. Oh, I hadn't decided, had I? That's all right. I'll put that to one side, because I've got loads and loads that I could use. But one of those. Actually, though, I mean, I could use one of these. But I think that's look a little bit too samey. So, although I could use it, I don't think I will. Let's see, about a lighter colour. No. The darker one's the way to go. Now then, do I have a stamp ready? Oops. Avalanche. That was my cutter board going flying. Now, the only problem with this particular design is I'm going to have to put it very slightly Katie cornered or cut a bigger piece. Cut a bigger piece. Don't be a skin flint. I can hear people saying, for goodness sake, cut a bigger piece. Okay, so I've cut another piece. This one is an inch and a half that way and 3 that way. That'll look quite good about there, I think, don't you? So let's get our ink. And I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black. Oh, that's a really good It's going to go there, and I think we'll pop it up, shall we? Why not? Got some smallish, very small little ones here. These actually come from Crafter's Companion when they were in Barlborough, up in Chesterfield, near Chesterfield. It's no longer there, so I can't use them anymore apart from online. I mean, I don't live anywhere near there, but my husband's family do, or did before they passed away. Although they haven't all passed away. My nieces and nephews are still there. This does not want to come off. Struggle is real, people. There we go. They're not the easiest of foam squares to take the tops off of. Oh, come on. Getting a bit old, that's the problem. There we go, one more. Oh, for this bad, I may not bother putting up very much else. Okay, where are we going to put it? About there. So there we go, card number 1. Okay, on to card number 2. The card number 2, similar sort of idea, I suppose. We've got our 5x7. We've got a mat. But this time I've cut a load of stars shapes out. And rather than putting them in one particular place, I thought we'd just sort of scatter them about. Like that. And I think that looks great. So we'll stick them onto the mat, and then we'll stick the mat on. don't actually need that much glue on these, one on each corner. This is fairly thin paper actually, this. This is why I'm not popping it up, because it wouldn't have the structure. Look, it's a bit flimsy. I mean, I could put it on card, recut it and stick it back again, but don't want to mess about too much. One on each corner, one in the middle. I wonder if we can see which way up is the 12. Don't think we can. But that is the winder, and the winder is usually on the right, so I would guess it goes that way round. And then we'll connect this piece to the base. Might look like I'm using loads and loads of glue, but I'm not really. The My Sweet Petunia glue press has a precision nozzle, which means that it doesn't come out that quickly. It's a fairly thin line, so that's great. But now we need something with the sentiment on it. Oh, I suppose I could stick it straight in the middle there. Yeah, why not? Move that out of the way. Turn that round so I can see it. I know you can't, but make sure it's well and truly inked, because I'll only get one shot at this. Press it down and hold it. Give the ink chance to transfer from the stamp to the paper. And there we go. And then one stamp is enough. So that's card number 2. Card number 3 is a little bit on the different side, because what I did is I cut some strips of paper. Now these are 1/2 inch, just over 1/2 inch by the looks of it. Yeah, just meant to be 1/2 inch, but they're just over, so that just big enough so that my star will cut out at the end there. And I've kept the little stars as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to weave them, overlapping. Have 3 going that way. And we're going to have 3 going that way, but which way round? Probably. Okay, now to do this, what we've got to do is we've got to take each one, go under, over and under, and then the next one, being very careful of the star, don't want to break it, we'll go over, then under, then over. See what I mean? So we're making sort of a basket, and the bottom one, sorry, goes again under, over and under. Now we're going to pull these through till they get to the positions that we want them. So we want that one about there probably. We're not gluing any of them just yet because we don't need to make sure that we're in the right place. And then the next one in a bit more than that, I think. There we go. Next one in a bit more, and the same at the top. And what we end up with is, what we should end up with, is a diagonal line of the cutout stars. But I'm trying to leave enough room so that it's not going to work. Oh, well, never mind. So that one of these will fit on the end. There we go. Oh dear, I've got black ink all over me and all over the paper. Isn't that clever? That's because I didn't close up the ink pot. Marvellous. Let's clean myself off a bit. This is where your stamp cleaning solution comes in very handy. Again, this one's from Crafter's Companion. What I'm going to do when I've run out, I don't know. Brave the internet, I suppose. I mean, I'm on the internet anyway, but I tend not to like getting things on, craft stuff online, because you can't see it. I like seeing it. Oh dear, this is getting in a right muddle. That's better. Don't think that's going to come off on me now. But it does mean that that card base is effectively ruined for this particular card. I mean, it's fine if you put that on it. Let's get another one. There we go. Okay, so let's get the glue press. Now, the way we're going to do this is we're going to stick the top bit down of each of them. A little bit fiddly, but it does work. And we're going to do these ones as well. Only it's gone a little bit awry because I don't have room for the star on the end one. Can I adjust it very, very slightly before I glue these ones? Yes, there we go. There we go, a bit of glue on the end of that one. Right, Right, so having glued them, just those ends on, we've already woven them. We don't really need to glue inside there. What we now have to do is glue the other ends and then trim them off. A little bit of glue underneath the end one. Okay. Oh dear, I'm just trimming it off and trying to make sure it's straight. I was going to do it level to the edge of the paper, but a tiny bit of ink there. Right, and then the stars, which I might put in opposite order. A bit of glue come out the top there. What does it look like with opposite colours? Looks like I've lost one. I don't like it. I think we're going to have the actual colours. Like that. And I seem to have lost one, but no, nil desperandum. Let's chop another one. There we go. Yeah, I think that's going to look quite good. Don't want them popped out, do I? No. Now, the salutation could go on top, but then you'd lose the effect of your weaving. Or you can put it up the top there. Or again, we can just do it straight onto the paper, and that's what I think we'll do. So open the ink again. Decide whereabouts will look good. There, I reckon. Press down and hold. Hope it's straight. That's number 3. on to the next one, so we'll close that up again. Number 3 is fairly similar, I suppose. This one is, turn it so you can see it. At least I hope you can see it. And this one's going to be, so I'd already done this one. No. All along the bottom edge. Like that. Not completely straight, and slightly different angles, as though it's tumbling is the idea. So you start off with a square one, so it's square in shape. Then the next one tips, and then the next one tips further, and then the next one tips further, and so on, which helps they were all different if they move them apart a bit. So that's the idea. So let's get this, let's just get on with it and you'll see what I mean. So we start off with the square over there. The next one would be that way up, but it's now going to be that way. The next one would have started that way, tipped to there, so now it's going a bit further around. It'll be back to square in actual fact, won't it? But it's not going to be. I'm going to put it just a little bit off, like that. And the next one, like that. And it ends up back straight again. And if we're really lucky, we can move them across. Well, we can't, but you know. Slightly wrong place, don't matter. Pull it out. I mean, it makes a mess underneath the cake paper, but so long as you cover it completely, nobody will ever know. And then we're going to put sentiment strip across at the top. I mean, technically you should have it across the middle of those, but I haven't got a long one, so it's going to go at the top there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to not choose that one. I was going to put wiggly lines and I thought, no, it wouldn't look right. So instead I'm going to put a nice dark green there. Although it doesn't actually match, does it? Would I be better off matching it with one of the colours that's down below? like that one. Let's see if that looks more cohesive. Yes, that looks far more cohesive. So we'll stamp our sentiment. Put it into position. Check that it's square this time, because you know, probably isn't. Actually, yes it is. I find that very strange, but it is. So that's good. And you can turn these into presents very easily. All you do is put a little bow on the top of each one. I might show you that in a minute. Okay, next one. There's this one. Now this time, I did originally cut out some circles because there's going to be balloons. But circles aren't the right shape and they were too small. They were 1 inch. So what I've done is I've drawn the shape of a balloon out, which I'm now going to cut. Out of more than one piece at the time. This is very thin paper. And I found some sky, paper that looks like sky. Solid blue would do just as well. Okay, so that's 5. And the idea is that you put them coming down the page like that. I'll move them up a little bit higher. You can arrange them any way you like. Now the picture I found on Pinterest had them all sort of overlapping quite a lot, sort of like that, which does look quite good actually. But I'm going to open them up a little bit. There were completely different colours on Pinterest there. There we go. But yeah, that would work quite well. And then I'm going to stick it to actually lift each one. And this is very thin paper, but hopefully it will work. Single-sided paper, as you can see. Might have been better off with larger squares. Okay, then we need a micron pen, which of course I've probably lost, but let's see. Oh no, they're over here. These are brown ones, but they'll do. Let's go somewhere in the middle. Let's try, what's this one? It's a 6 and 9. Let's try an 8. Try it on a piece of paper first, of course, in case it's the wrong thickness. No, I think that'll probably do. And then what you do is you bring it down, starting at the bottom one. And then from wherever you think those ones came, fairly effective. And we'll put it onto the paper, onto the backing. And then we'll get our sentiment strip. Now, I did have a dark sentiment strip organised for this one, but I don't think that's going to work. I think we'd be better off with just putting it straight onto the page. So that's what I'm going to do. But of course I've dropped it, so where on earth have I put it? There. You know what they say, don't you? Bad workman loses their tools all the time. There we go. Put the lid back on. And I've got one more that I've prepped here. This is another one using squares. So that's 3 squares. I need 3 more. Must have used them on something else. Never mind, I'll just get some more cut out quickly. We'll have one of those, and we'll have, got one of them already. Could do a purpley black one, but you know, that one. And that one. So I need a 2-inch squares cut of these. Six 2-inch squares for this one. And then we just arrange them down the page. In whatever order looks good. I don't really want 2 stripes on the same. Like that, I think. Okay, having organised which way you got them in, all we've got to do then is glue them on. The easy part, yeah. This one. Do the top one next so I can centre the middle one. Could possibly have gone a tiny bit wider, but well, 2-inch square is much easier, isn't it? There we go. Now for this one, I've cut a grey banner, and the banner's going to go to there, I think. It could go halfway, but I think it's going to go across the centre there. Or I could move it downwards. Top third or bottom third. Which one's going to look best? Keep going back to the middle, actually. That's probably where it'll go. Okay, now the problem with this one is it's not quite going to fit, so I'm going to turn this to a slight angle. And hope it looks good. I don't think I like it. What can I do to it to make it better, I wonder? Oh, that would work. Put the actual banner sideways so that the happy birthday's straight. Really adds a little bit of interest to it. Okay, let's see if we can get these ones off. A little bit easier than we have the others. Anyway, so this will be 6, and what I do with these is I shall take them to my mother, and she's going to choose which one she would like to send to my brother, at which point I will stick a sun label, S-O-N, to whichever one she chooses. And there we go. So when is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 cards. Let's have a show you them again. It's the one we just did. balloons. Oops, that one goes that way. Oh, I'm going to make that one not quite finished, is it? I've got to turn it into what's that one? I like that one. And that one I like. In fact, I like all of these. We were going to turn those into parcels. Now, the problem is turning them into parcels without ruining them. So, let's see what I can do. Okay, so the best way I've found is actually to draw them on with a pencil. So what we've got is we've got the centre section, the outsides, and then the bands in the middle. Into this one, smooth those out of the way a minute. I've got the centre bit. On the sides. I mean, obviously in pencil this is very light. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll go over that in, we'll use this brown, I think, because it's the best one that I've got. The one that I used for the balloon stems. And then you can colour those in if you wish. I'm not going to, I'm going to leave them like that. There we go. Completed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Until next time. Bye.